All right, what up, YouTube? So this is the third piece in the Diaspora series. And today I'm here with Lucy. We're going to be talking about life, what her life experiences has been. So, Lucy, I know, you weren't born here, but you might as well have, right? Because you were brought here at such a young age.
Yeah.
Do you recall any experiences, growing up that still stands out to you?
In terms of what, like?
In terms of just like compare to Ghana, right? You've been to Ghana several times.
Mm-hmm.
The way people are brought up over there as compared to here. For instance, you might have gone to middle school, high school, some of the experiences, somebody beat your ass. That's an experience.
Ain't nobody beat my ass. I was beating ass.
Okay then, yeah. So talk about that, right? How was the school experience? Were there any middle school teachers that you liked?
I could say elementary school, I know I struggled a bit at first because the English language struggles.
Yeah.
So, but I excelled in the ESL. So by middle school, I was speaking English. But of course, you get the African booty scratcher and all of that nonsense that you get from kids. But I didn't tolerate it. So in elementary school, I got into a lot of fights. I think I got suspended a couple times for fighting kids. But once I got to middle school, I didn't have those problems.
Yeah.
I kind of had my Ghanaian friends, and I stuck with them. And then high school, I had my American friends, and I had my Ghanaian friends. So I just kind of mixed in with all of that. So I feel like after elementary school, I didn't really struggle with that whole identity crisis that people go through at school. I was a student. Outside of school, I was having fun. I was Ghanaian. I was chilling. I was
sweet. Do you remember what middle school you went to, or high school?
I went to Medina in middle school, and then I went to Mifflin High School, and then I also went to Westerville South.
Westerville South. So
but I graduated from Mifflin.
Okay, you graduated from. Okay, I see. So, I remember, when we first got here, right? You were reading a lot of books.
Yeah.
A lot of love books.
Don't talk about me.
Yeah, more specific. So, this whole time, at least from that time to then, I always assumed that you were going to be a writer.
I assumed I was going to be doing a lot of writing. I do. I type a lot at work. I do a lot of research, right?
Okay.
I loved reading. I feel like reading also helped with my English and comprehending stuff. So yes, the books that I read might have been inappropriate for my age, but it wasn't nobody stopping me.
I see.
So I feel like reading was very essential in my academia. It helped me excel.
Okay.
If I'm not good at anything, I'm good at reading and writing when I put my mind to it.
All right, sweet. By the time we got here, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if it was a result of the books you were reading and all that, but and you said you were in ESL. Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody would have guessed that you were ever in ESL.
I know.
So was it a result of the books you were reading, or was it maybe watching TV and watching movies? Because by the time we got here, your tongue had completely flipped.
Yeah. No, my ESL teacher was amazing. Miss Juris. I remember her up to this day. I still have her phone number. I'm not good with communicating, but she was very pivotal in my reading and stuff because she would take time out of her weekends, pick me up, take me to the library, take me to her house to teach me the English language, reading, writing, math, everything.
Yeah.
She took her time. She was very nurturing, and I feel like a lot of kids don't get that in the Columbus City school system.
Right.
But I got that, and that's only because when I came, I was going to Cassidy Elementary, and I struggled there. Then I transferred to Devonshire, and that's where she was the teacher at. And I spoke to her all the way up until I graduated from college.
Wow.
Even though it was on and off, it was consistent. She came to my high school graduation. She was a very impactful person in terms of me learning English. So I always shout out to Miss J.
Interesting. And then back then also, you and Claudia were basically inseparable.
I'm dead.
So how did you guys meet?
Agla. My dad moved to Agla first, and then my mom followed.
Okay.
And I didn't even actually get along with Claudia at first.
Are you serious?
No, I didn't. It was her little sister Chelsea, because I love kids. So I started playing with Chelsea and babysitting her.
Yeah.
And then I got close to Chelsea. And then that's when me and Claudia became close. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Then, so you completed high school, went off to college. I mean, what college did you go to?
I went to Spelman College.
And what did you study?
I studied history and then a minor in African diaspora in the world.
Oh.
Because I thought I was going to go to law school. So that was the plan. And, plans change.
I see. Well, I mean, that's just, that's relevant because these video series are the diaspora series. So, your contribution is going to count. And then, I mean, were there any experiences in college that, particularly stood out to you?
I will say, I feel like in high school I was very social. I had I was the popular girl at school. Me and Claudia were very much in the scene in our community. We went to parties, we did whatever. And when I got to college, it was the total opposite because that was the first time I'm not around all Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually around Americans and international students, but it was mainly Americans. And that was a culture shock for me. So that my first semester was a huge, I barely left my room. I didn't start making friends until second semester of freshman year. Yeah.
That's a shock to me. I mean, because you speak very well.
I was just like, where are my Ghanaians?
Are you serious?
So it took me a minute, but I made friends in my dorm, and I enjoyed Spelman. I will say that before I got to Spelman, life was easy for me because school was easy, straight A's. I didn't have to try.
Okay.
But at Spelman, you have to try because everybody that they let in is just like you.
Okay.
They are the top of the class. They stand out. And I procrastinated a lot. I ain't gonna hold you.
Then in that case, would you say that the Columbus City schools, would you say that it prepared you for the experiences or for the challenges that you faced at Spelman?
No.
No?
No, but I don't blame the school system. Like, there's not enough money put into Columbus Public Schools in order for students to get that full experience. Okay. Like, my brother and I were talking, he was saying, like, when he transferred to Mifflin, he was like, dang, they're behind. Because at Westerville, what he learned first quarter, they were learning in fourth quarter.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's like, it's really, you can't blame the teachers. You can't even blame the staff. It's just the resources that teachers need to actually, like, help students excel.
Yeah.
They don't really have that. So I didn't blame how I came up into, because I don't feel like academically I struggled. I just knew I was lazy.
Right.
It wasn't until second semester of freshman year I was like, get it together, and then I started focusing and doing the work. But I was like, oh, I don't gotta try it. And I'm like, oh shoot, I do have to try. I actually have to study. I have to do my homework. And I was not, because before, I could just show up, take the test, get an A. But in college, that's not the case.
I see. And then afterwards, I know you were living in Texas for quite some time. Did you go like right after college to Texas, or
no? I came back to Columbus pregnant.
Okay.
Came back here after graduation, had Bella.
Yeah.
Then I started working at Chase in customer service. I hated it. Then I quit. Then I went to paralegal school.
You quit?
I did not show up.
Oh, my goodness.
I didn't even last 2 months.
Oh, man. I don't think I've ever had the balls to actually quit a job.
I quit.
Wow.
I quit a lot of jobs.
How did that feel, man? Because that's an experience I've never had.
I don't think twice about it. I quit, then I go. That's not the first job I quit, and it probably won't be the last. Like, I don't like when I get to a space in my job where I have anxiety about going to work and actually doing the job. Like, it's not that I want to enjoy my job, but I want to be able to tolerate it.
Okay.
And working in collections, how you going to tolerate somebody yelling at you every day?
So,
no, I quit that job.
So was it a customer service job then?
Yeah.
Okay.
The people that had overdraft accounts, that's the worst department to be in.
Wow.
Yeah, so I quit that. Then I went to paralegal school at Capital University Law School. Then after that, I got a job at a law firm, a real estate law firm, as a paralegal.
Here in Ohio?
Yeah, in Columbus. I did that for 2 years.
Okay.
And then I quit that.
Wow. So yes, it's like a string of just quitting stuff.
Listen, don't say it like that. I didn't just, no, like better opportunities come.
Okay,
and
okay,
then,
okay, okay. All right.
So that's when I got into AML
Okay, all right.
with the help of Ebenezer.
Yes, yes,
One of my besties.
Okay.
He's very essential in me getting into compliance because, like, my love of law and all of that hasn't gone away. I still hope that I can go to law school.
Right.
So that hasn't changed. So I got into AML because it was paying more.
Very well.
Like my first AML job, I think I was making like $55 an hour.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So why would I stay at a law firm that's paying me less than $20 an hour?
Oh no.
You get what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
So
okay.
I went to South Carolina for that, and that was 3 months, and then I quit
Oh man.
because I was away from my daughter.
Okay.
I was miserable. I was like, I quit.
Understandable.
And then I came back, and then I found another job at Discover.
Okay.
And that wasn't even AML. That was third-party risk management. But I loved that. I did that for over a year, and then the contract ended.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, Ebenezer referred
Showed
me
up again.
for a job at Citi Financial
Yeah.
in the AML department to move to Dallas. And I was like, hey, why not?
I
I'm not
see.
somebody that's like, oh my gosh, I'm leaving home. No, I will
see.
go. So that's when I moved to Dallas, and that was an experience. I love Dallas.
I see.
So I worked at Citi for a year and a half, whatever, and then I hated it, so I quit.
Okay. Man, this Oh man.
No, I came to hate it because, I feel like management is very essential.
Right. To
The work environment. If your
Okay.
manager is not good, your rapport at work will suck.
Okay.
And if you have a manager or a team lead that doesn't give you no incentive to be like, I'm ready to do the work, and they barely try. If I see that somebody above me is not trying,
Then you
why
don't
would I
want to try.
Yeah, and I just had a shitty team lead. And it was just, my man ain't want to move to Dallas.
Okay.
So I had to come back to the village.
All right.
C-bus.
And then, I mean, I see you, like give props to Ebenezer. So was the transition to AML, were there any sort of procedure or maybe even some sort of course that you needed to
No,
take?
so Ebe just took time, like after work, when he got off work, he would just help me go through AML stuff, like the systems that they use, like acronyms that I needed to know. Like he would give me case samples, how to write a narrative, how to do like investigating and doing screenshots and stuff like that. Like he really took his time to teach me. And then like prepping for interview, he prepped me and stuff like that. Listen,
Oh, wow.
People don't give props to people when they help them, but Ebenezer has been very pivotal.
Right.
I need to get that word right in my career choices.
Wow.
Because like I feel like when you have that like support and somebody like it really helps. Because
see.
like that's a friend that I know, like if I'm stuck with something pertaining to my career, I can call him and he'll just be like, hey, do this, do this, do that. He doesn't even think twice. Some people will gatekeep and be selfish and be like, oh, it's just for me, I'm not helping nobody. He's not like that. Like he wants everybody to win, in my opinion.
Wow.
And I'm not just saying that because he's my friend.
And I mean, has it, how long have you known Ebenezer, by the way?
How long has it been
Since Agler, right?
Agler?
Okay.
So middle school?
Yeah, maybe
11,
middle
12?
Okay.
It's been
a long time.
A long time.
Yep. A long time. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I mean, you did AML. A few of my friends, have done AML. They tell me about what the process is, but I haven't quite understood exactly what the job is. I mean, are you guys detecting fraud? I mean, how does that work?
People that are doing money laundering, fraud, trying to avoid currency standards, just anything, wire fraud.
Yeah.
There's even AML that involves trading fraud, crypto fraud, like when PPP loans came, PP loan fraud. So it encompasses a lot of different types of fraud.
Okay.
Like it's just about if you have an account with any type of financial institution or whatever,
Right.
if you're doing something in there you ain't supposed to be doing, 9 out of 10
they will see it.
Somebody like me has looked into your account activity, looked into the information you provided to the bank, looked into your what you have online,
Right.
and have filed a report against you. And it's in the system, and all the institutions, police, FBI, CIA, whatever, all of them, they can access it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. So I guess what would be considered a suspicious activity then? So say I have 10,000 that is in another account, maybe in a Ghanaian account that I want to transfer here to my American account. If I think the one of the things that somebody told me was that if I divided up, say, like 10 times and then sent it 1,000, like 10 times, that
No. So
That'll raise a red flag.
that only pertains to physical cash.
Okay.
Like if you're going to the bank, so there's something called the CTR. It's like a form that you don't fill it out.
Okay.
You go to the bank, the teller has to fill it out. If you bring in more than $10,000, the limit is $10,000, $1,000.
$10,000,
$1.
okay.
Some people will say
They're very
$10,000,
specific about
$100, but it's really $10,000, $1.
Okay.
You go into the bank and you have money that's above that. You have to give them your ID, whether it's your passport, your driver's license, some form of ID.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna take the cash, right? They're gonna fill out a form and let you know, like, hey, this is how much money they brought it in for. They'll ask you what is it for.
Right.
You can dodge the question, but everything, whatever your response is, they input that into the system.
Oh.
So if you comply,
Right.
you're okay.
Okay.
But if you don't comply, you're suspicious. Or you decide, oh, I have 15K, but I don't want them to ask me questions and I don't want to provide my ID. So I'm going to go in every day or every other day and deposit small amounts.
Yeah.
The system is going to flag that because
Okay.
you're doing something suspicious.
I see.
Or let's say you're a college student and you coming in with that type of money. Why do you have that amount of money?
Okay.
And in this situation, like a lot of international students, when they get wire transfers from wherever they're from for tuition and stuff like that, the system flags it because you're a college student. So why are you getting 50K?
Okay. Okay.
Unfortunately, it's not their fault. There's probably a reasonable explanation,
Uh-huh.
but we don't know that, and we can't even tell you that we're investigating you. So we
Okay.
just got to go off of what we find online or whatever you provided in the system. So it's very important that like people communicate with their financial institution about what
see.
they're doing. Like, yeah, you don't want people being your business, but you're literally storing your money. You're giving them your money, so they are responsible for it. And if you're doing something suspicious, they're going to be liable for it because there's a lot of financial institutions that get fined by FinCEN
Yeah.
for laundering money for terrorists and all of that, those type of people. Like Deutsche Bank, no offense to Deutsche Bank, they're always getting flagged because they're always doing some sketchy stuff for
I
people.
see.
So it's just, that's one of the basics.
Okay. Do you have any vague idea of what the percentage of the cases that you guys flagged, turn out to be?
It's not a lot, but then it also depends on the financial institution. And I've worked for a lot.
I see.
I work for a lot of places because I'm a job hopper. I go where the money reside. And I've done a lot of contract work.
Okay.
So it really just depends on the financial institution. But I wouldn't say it's a huge percentage.
Okay.
It's not a huge percentage of people that launder money or do suspicious stuff.
I see.
And some people don't even know they're doing it.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like, let's be honest, in our community right now, there's a lot of romance fraud and stuff like that. Literally, 9 out of 10, y'all are caught because of AML departments. They are caught because of the activity they do in their bank accounts.
Okay.
And people don't even realize that. Like, where are you getting this money from?
Okay.
Why are you funneling money through a business account? It's like people think they're smart, but really, Your downfall is the financial
I see.
communities. If you're a
Okay.
criminal.
And then you mentioned living in Texas for quite some time. Was there any differences, like that comes to mind, at least as comparing Texas to Ohio?
I mean, I feel like I lived in Atlanta longer than I lived in Texas.
Oh, for real?
But
Oh, because of Spelman.
school,
Okay.
yeah. But I mean, I didn't really go around the Ghanaian community aside from my friends that I knew that were there.
Okay.
I.e. Ebenezer, KG.
Yeah.
I stuck to my people. Like, I didn't. So I will say one thing I loved was I was there with Bella, and if I just wanted to find something to do with Bella,
Yeah.
I didn't even have to think twice. There was always something for me to find to do for kids.
Okay.
And I'm a foodie, but the food experience in Dallas, A1, so I love that. And it was just something new to experience. I love the experience. I don't think I had anything bad to say about Dallas except for like Steve wasn't there. That was it.
Okay. I mean, and like if Steve wasn't here in Ohio, I can understand because it gets cold in the wintertime. You feel me? And you might want to cuddle.
Get out.
But like in Texas, you know how hot it gets in Texas and all that. But I was actually thinking that one of the things that might have stood out to you would be the landscape. Here Texas has a vast sort of land, so you have to drive for like 2 hours just to get to a Walmart.
No. One thing I loved about Dallas was where I lived in particular. I'll speak for where I lived.
Yeah.
Steve can be a reference. Kroger, Walmart, Giant Eagle. Like every direction that I would drive,
Yeah.
there is a grocery store within less than 10 minutes.
Are you serious?
For me to get to. There's an excess amount of things.
Okay.
Like I didn't have that. I had no complaints like food, grocery shopping,
Okay.
gas, all those things. I didn't have to worry. My daughter's preschool was right across the street from my apartment.
What about jobs?
That was annoying. My job was 40 minutes away from where I lived. And the reason I went to live out there is because the apartment was super affordable.
Okay.
But now it's super expensive because where I used to live now they're building like not Disney World. What's the other one? Universal.
Okay.
They're building a Universal theme park there, so now it's expensive. But it was affordable, and there was a daycare right across the street, so I didn't have no worries. But like, things are far, but that's like work and church and stuff. If you want to be around the Ghanaian community, you have to drive an hour.
I see.
To go to Arlington.
Okay.
But we lived in Dallas, so I can understand that part. People are saying it's far.
Are you how religious are you? I guess I should ask.
That is the wrong person to ask me. I am finding my way back to God.
Okay,
I will say that.
That's the correct way to put it.
It's step by step. I'm not a Bible, excuse my language. I'm not a Bible thumper. I'm not super religious. I'm not gonna sit here and act like, ooh, no.
Yeah.
I barely go to church. I'm working on it.
That's good. It's a working process.
It's a working process.
Okay. All right. And I think the other thing that I wanted to ask you was, do you have a drink? What is it like?
Yeah, so I fell in love with, I've always liked making drinks, hosting parties, whatever. That's my niche, okay?
Yeah.
I want people to have a good time. So while in Dallas, I started, I went to a little bartending school or whatever, and then I started making drinks and stuff like that. And I just decided I'm going to start my own bartending business. So I started Lush Cocktails in Dallas, did a whole bunch of events, and then afterwards, I moved back here and just started doing that because Bella had gone to Ghana during COVID, so I didn't have anything to do with my time but bartend.
Okay.
And I enjoy it, and now it's flourishing. And I'm enjoying it.
That's great. Let's wrap this up. Out of all the time, from say middle school to high school to college, then now working, you recently even transitioned to a new job. Well,
Yep.
Yeah. So, what takeaways would you have for our viewers?
When you're tired of it, move on. Like I got tired of doing AML. I felt like it wasn't benefiting me. There was the money wasn't enough for the life I'm living now with 2 kids, a house, and bills. So I just kind of moved on from that, and now I'm doing RCSA and compliance, and I love it because it's not so much mundane where you're doing the same thing over and over and over. I'm learning new things, and I'm interacting with new people, and I love it. And change is not a bad thing.
That's that. Hey, I mean, and that's a wrap. Thank you, Luz.
Bye bye.